Hello everyone, welcome to Zach Brown Cooking, not affiliated with the Zach Brown Band. And before we start today, I gotta say, I love Pazukis. So I'm gonna teach you a family recipe of how to make Pazukis today. Before we do anything, you're gonna wanna go over to your oven and make it preheat to about 350 degrees. You can make it more or less. It doesn't really matter. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to pour about 1.5 cups of flour into this bowl right here. It doesn't really matter how you get it, just get it all in there. Then we're going to take 1/2 of a teaspoon of salt and pour that in there. And then we're going to give 1/2 a teaspoon of baking soda and get that in there too. And then we are going to take this little whisker. We're going to whisk it all in there nice and tightly so that way everything's all mixed. You can't really see anything as any different than anything else. And that looks about right. And so now we're going to go on with our second beverage. So take this here mixer. And we're going to take about 1/2 stick of butter. I know it looks a little bit more. That's half. It's just a little melted. It helps to melt your butter, but it doesn't really matter if you melt it or not. We're going to pour it right in there. And then we're going to take 1/2 a cup of brown sugar and pour that right in there. And then we're going to take about 1/2 a cup of white sugar and pour it in there. And then you're going to want to just take the mixer down right here. And then you're going to want to turn it on. You generally want to turn it down, obviously, to a low speed, so that way it will all mix together. And as we can see with the mixer, I'm going to have to talk really loudly, but you're going to want to make it to look where it's all one mush. You don't really want to see the difference in anything. And how we're going to do this is we're going to take 1 egg, as we can see right here, and we're going to pour it right into there, and it's going to start getting it. That's a very strong egg, if I do say so myself. And then we're going to take 1 tablespoon, as measured here. We're going to pour that of vanilla extract from anywhere. It's about that. And we're also going to pour it in off the side. Maybe just say a little bit more because a little bit probably got lost on the way down there. And so now that we have that, we're just going to watch it mix. You want all of it to get in this sort of milky smooth thing that we see right here. While you're doing this, you can also continue to whisk this, as there's not really much to do. Obviously, we're on a time constraint, so we won't be able to do this for as much time as you might be able to, because we have to get to our commercial advertisers. And so it looks about good right now. It's not the best in the world, but time constraints do demand that things happen. So we're going to have to pour this in. You're going to want to pour this in not so quickly. Just pour it in one little bit at a time. So like this, just get a little bit in there. Don't be afraid if some goes off, like you can see. It doesn't really matter. It's all going to be good at the end of the day, so you're just going to want to pour it in. A little bit, yeah. And so why that's mixing, because that's going to take a while to mix. I just wanted to talk about why this is so important to me. You see, I have a grandma down in Lexington, and she would always cook this for me on my birthday when we would go down there, around my birthday, and she can't really do that anymore, unfortunately. She's still around, but she can't cook quite like how she used to be able to cook, which is sort of sad. But I just love this family recipe that she's given down to us. I talked with her, and she gave me the mysteries to my favorite food as a kid. And so I just sort of associated with a good time, and so I wanted to share that good time with all of you. And so right now, as we look into this mixer right here, you can see that everything's slowly going into that little void of cookie dough. Because a Pasuki is 1/2 cookie dough and 1/2 not cookie dough. And that's the best part of the Pasuki, is that you can put Jello on top of a Pasuki, or you can put Jello on top of a cookie, and it's a Pasuki. But I like to put ice cream on top of it because, well, I was a fat kid growing up, and I like ice cream. So it's looking pretty good right now, so I think I'm going to stop it, and I'm going to take this up, and then we're going to take this out. It's kind of being a pain. And so we're going to put this over here, and then we're going to first add the chocolate. We're going to add our chocolate chips right here. Just add those, just hand add them. I like to hand add them because they're the special part. I like to sprinkle them all over it. And then we're going to take the remainder of our chips, the peanut butter chips, because I like to have both peanut butter and chocolate, because I'm fat for a reason. Not really, I don't really want to say that, and it's okay. But now you're just going to want to hand mix these all together. Best part of this is just hand mixing all of it together. Make sure it's even. Make sure that you have just about cookies everywhere, because you don't want to eat a bite from a cookie or a Pasuki without a good amount of chocolate chips in it. And if you don't mix this thoroughly, you might not get that. But luckily, you will mix this thoroughly, because I believe that you all will be able to listen to the recipe. And so just mix for a few minutes or just a few seconds, doesn't really matter. And then once you're done with that, get your skillet, and then you're going to want to do it like this. Just whisk up a big old glob of cookie dough and get it down. Get down all right over there. All right. Put that back, and then you are going to want to go put it in the oven. All right. And then you're going to want to put it in. But unfortunately, as I said, we had time restraints, so whoa, I'm magic. And it has come out a cookie. And so now we're going to move that over here, and we're going to move into the final part, the ice cream. And so what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go in here, get yourself a big old bunch of ice cream, and just put it in there. Good. Put another scoop. Put it in there, and that is how you make a Pasuki. You know, you can make it many different ways. You don't have to follow the family recipe. In fact, I sized down a lot of things in order to make this a lot smaller, because just the recipe that Grandma used was to feed a family, and I only got a few people. So just take what you've learned today and use it out in the wild, and hey, baby, you can make your grandma a happy birthday.